you want to send a letter to the next president?
Yes.
How would you like to start?
I guess as most people would start.
Dear Mr. President.
On behalf of myself, my family, and my community, I have a few requests.
Free universal health care for each and every last person that was born in America.
If you're a real Republican, you will protect the rights of American citizens first.
If only you knew how it feels to be on the outside, looking in.
Finally this evening, our person of the week, and it has been quite a week. All these Republicans from around the country on a mission to re-elect their president. All the other people here from so many places to express their displeasure with Mr. Bush. Perhaps it was so many people talking past each other that made this young woman stand out. She thinks that communication is an art form. We met Sheryl Oring in a public square with her typewriter.
Do you want to have a seat? There's something about the typewriter that really draws people in and also is a symbolic reminder of a different era when people took the time to write letters and people slowed down and listened to each other.
I never cease to be amazed at the way people open up with me and tell me the most incredibly personal stories. When there's a typist sitting there listening to every word that the person in front of them speaks, it really gives that person the feeling that they've been listened to, that they've been heard. And I think therein lies the possibility for people making change. So I wish to say has many influences. My grandmother was a secretary in the political science department at the University of Maryland. She always went to work dressed to the nines and let me play in her closet, put on her wigs and costume jewelry every time I visited. The other is my background as a journalist. So I worked for a number of years in newspapers. I found that constantly there were not very many women or people of color on the front page, and I was always bringing this up. When I started I Wish to Say, my idea was I want to give everyone a chance to speak their minds.
Dear Mr. Trump, it's okay for you to be the president, but you cannot, make fun of people.
I would like for you to get to know the everyday person.
I didn't think my letter would get to the president. Honestly, I swear, and I hope he get my letter.
It's a very unique way of documenting history and possibly a more feminine and feminist way of documenting history because I'm telling individual people's stories that are sometimes very, very personal. And when you read history books, that's usually lacking. You don't get that.
The day after the election, all I could do was sob and sob and sob and sob, and then apologize to my daughters, age 31 and 33. I accept responsibility for this. It is my generation that created this, and we have to reclaim it.
I've typed 4,106 postcards to 4 different presidents. These days, when we mostly communicate over social media where you never meet the other person on the other end, there's something very human about the use of a typewriter. When technology has played such a destructive role in our society, we need a new form of communication. And we need to find a way of communicating that goes beyond the egocentrism that's implicit with Twitter.
As the daughter of immigrants, I still believe in the promise of a democracy, and it's up to you to restore it. Honor and respect the voices of all people.
It's quite amazing to witness how people respond when they're listened to, and what many of them have told me is they're just not used to it. They're not used to being listened to. And I think we really have to change that. The future of our country depends on it. That's the critical thing to me, that people become actively engaged in their communities in making positive change for the places that we live.